You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's easy to sum it up. We're talking about practice.
Because it's about as casual as it gets. What's the problem now?
That's a clown question, bro.
I think we ought to change the beat name at least.
World champions!
Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
Philadelphia, looking as only you can look. Woo!
Here we go.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Philly Podcast, brought to you by La Tourine Watches, the Monkey'sUncle.net, Back to 99 Productions, and the CEV Sports Podcast Network. I'm your co-host, Eric Perugini, along with your other co-host, Chris Lahiff, and we are back after another win by the Philadelphia Eagles. A game they should have won, a game they almost lost, but nevertheless, they did win. And we do have some things to talk about. Some cool, some bad, some things that still concern me about our illustrious head coach, which I still think he's totally losing it. I think he's looking totally lost out there half the time. But anyway, I digress. Chris, what's going on, my friend? How you been?
We're doing good. Big Eagles win. We're actually live on TikTok now as well. So,
hello, TikTokers.
Yeah, hello, TikTok. But no, yeah, big win. Listen, what can you say? They won 28-23. No turnovers again by Mr. Jalen Hurts. So it's a good day. It's a good day. I know some people are a little, they got some complaints, and I don't think they're rightfully so. But we'll get into that. I know me and you might see not see eye to eye on your Sirianni comments, which is fine. But I just want to go out and point out that this is real. This is a real picture of Saquon Barkley. I'm just going to play the video. I'm just going to play the clip.
Has time. Now locates Barkley out of the backfield. Barkley slips 2 tackles and picks up the first down, jumping up in the air to the 30. A gain of 14 for Barkley with some nifty moves along the way.
Was that not the best 14-yard gain you've seen all?
That was something else. I mean, how did he know that guy was going to be right there and to jump? And if you notice, he still peeks over his shoulder to look downfield if he's got room to run.
It doesn't make sense. It literally, and the best is, and guys on TikTok and on Facebook and on YouTube, go on TikTok and just watch the reactions because it's phenomenal. It's the greatest thing you'll ever see. One of the guy who calls AJ Brown a Decepticon, I can't think of his name. He actually called D'Alessandro that they put crack in their cheesesteaks. Like, listen, we could do a whole show on Saquon Barkley on this leap. Like, there's no reason for it. We're not going to talk the whole show about the AJ Brown, or the Saquon Barkley leap. We're not. We're gonna discuss everything. You have a couple issues that you want to discuss. I'm sure I already know we're gonna disagree, but like I said, it is what it is. I just Saquon Barkley is ridiculous. It makes no sense on the stuff he did, what he's doing, and again I go back to don't know if I'm going on Hard Knocks and saying that. Go test the market and then come back and see us, Saquon, and let us know what your feelings are. This might go down. He might go down as the best running back in Eagles history.
Well, I mean, we hold off on that. I mean, that was still a great play. Like the guy's doing some great
Hey,
things, but I mean,
I'm sorry.
you can't.
He's got 1,000 all-purpose yards in 8 games.
Okay, that's fine, but I mean, you're saying this on a game where they literally just inducted LaShawn McCoy into the Eagles Hall of Fame for having like he still holds the most rushing yards in franchise history. So I mean, you gotta or whatever the hell it is, but he leads. He's up there with the team. He's up there. So I mean, like pump the brakes on that one there, Fuzz. But the guy's got the capabilities of doing it. I mean, so
I'm not pumping the brakes.
I mean, I couldn't hear a word you just said.
But I'm not
But,
pumping the brakes.
And so,
That's right.
but no, I mean that was an awesome play. The game was a game that they absolutely should have won. I mean, it's a terrible team that they played. Um, I mean, it's funny it's funny when you said that, oh, it was a big win, and I'm like, was it? But then again, you look at the division, you see how it's going with how terrible friggin' Dallas is, how terrible the Giants are, and a lot of people like we both didn't really think that the Commanders would be as good as they're doing, but they're a team this year, so it's funny to say, or for me to hear at least someone say, "Oh, it has a big win" when you're playing Jacksonville, but nevertheless, they won the game. They had their moments where it was like, "What the bleep is going on again?" But again, Jalen Hurts, another great game. He is putting up some really good numbers over these last 3, 4 games. He's on fire, as they used to say on ESPN. He's in fuego. So there's a lot of positives coming out of this game. That catch by Devontae Smith after AJ Brown was out, with his knee injury, which thankfully they're saying it doesn't seem to be too serious. That was an amazing catch. That was just as amazing as Saquon Barkley's like, I'm going to leap over you backwards, which was absolutely stunning. But that catch was great. I know.
Hold on.
They didn't like that one. 3rd and 22. Hurts looking end zone for Smith and makes the adjustment. Did he get the feet in? Touchdown! What a catch!
That was an amazing catch. That was crazy.
Well, that was a great catch. Ronald Darby stinks. Yeah, and listen, Devontae Smith steps up when needs it, when it's needed. He's always the guy you look to in fourth quarter for when you need a big first down catch, because it's usually at that point AJ Brown's getting double covered. But no, Devontae had a great catch last week against the Bengals.
He did. And that was coming off of a few games where he was like sort of missing, where they weren't calling his number a lot. And I know that was by design.
2 yards is good. That's what he had the previous week.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it's you can't tell me that they have things that they do by design. But I mean, he was on a little bit of a stretch there where he was almost non-existent in the offense, and that was making me mad. I was blowing my top. But these last couple of games, he's more involved again, and we're seeing a lot more consistency with Jalen Hurts to his receivers. It's not just Jalen Hurts to AJ Brown. So it seems like he's finally getting into a rhythm, which is at perfect time. But he's finally getting into a rhythm with all of his wide receivers. And we had a Jahan Dotson catch.
Oh.
I know you got that one queued up somewhere.
We'll go to that in a minute. I just want to go. I just got a response on Twitter.
Okay.
So I don't know if you saw it. So the last Bears quarterback to secure a road win on a Sunday was who?
Last Bears quarterback to secure a road win on a Sunday?
Yes.
I want to say Jay Cutler.
Oh, they're not that bad, but Jesus Christ.
I only said him because he was recently in the news for being a drunk. So that's the only reason why I said his name. I don't know.
Nick Foles, the great Nick Foles. They're
What is
0-18 cents.
Wow, how about that? How
I
about
think I
that?
posted. I saw the thing and I responded. I'm like, what? Is this true? And the guy's like, yep,
You're like,
we're 0-18 since then. You've gone a whole
jeez.
season without winning on the road on a Sunday. I'm thoroughly impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed
Wow.
with that. 0-18
Yeah.
on a Sunday. The Bears haven't won a road game. Holy!
Yeah, you gotta be a special kind of bad for that to happen.
All right, so
Oh,
we're gonna
yeah.
cue it up. Here we go. Since you called it.
Hurts looking deep down the field for Dotson. Oh, and he juggled it and caught it. What a grab by Dotson. There have not been many highlights this year for Dotson, but there's one, a gain of 37.
My goodness, what a catch by him. Tyson Campbell plays this about as well as you can as a DB. Gets his head back.
I mean, you got to give him credit. He kept his eye on the ball and he stayed concentrating.
I don't know how you call it. I was like,
I
oh
don't know
shit.
either.
I was like, who the hell
Yeah,
is 83?
Yeah, when I saw that catch, I was like, no, he didn't catch that. I was like, no, he didn't catch that. And I was like, my God, he caught it. And I was like, oh, it's Dotson. Like same thing. I was like, who's 83?
That was
But
wild.
that was yeah, that was a good that was another one. Like that was good concentration. He stayed with the ball. He never took his eyes off it, and it fell into his arms. So I mean, after it bounced. So I mean, hey, it was that type of game. It really was. It was that type of game. I mean,
All right.
the circus. Yeah, go ahead.
So we're 10 minutes in. We've done 3 good plays. Now I'm going to turn the floor over to you. You want me to play the video?
Did you have it up there? Because I couldn't get
Yeah,
it on there today.
I got it up there.
Play the video. Play.
I'm going to turn the video over, and then me and Eric, I already know. I'm warning you TikTok. I'm warning you Facebook and YouTube. We're going to get into a heated debate.
We've done pretty good at those in the past, and so you always think about everything. You think about who you have. You think about your past experiences with it. You always look at the analytics of it. We've been pretty good on those. Today they did a good job, and so I'll look at everything. But everything in the moment, I'm always doing what I think is best for the football team. And today it didn't work, but that's the way it goes. That's the hat I have to wear, right? When we get a 4th down and we convert a 4th down, we're not, it's nothing's really said. When we don't, I understand that there's going to be questions, but again, I have to be able to have the balls to do that. Really, at the end of the day, and say, am I doing everything I can do to help us win the game? And in those moments, I thought I was, but I'll go back and relook at them. I'm always going to be hypercritical of myself, and when it doesn't work, I'm definitely going to think even more about it. So, just happy with the way the guys played. I thought we played with great fundamentals today. I'll be interested to see what our tackling numbers are coming out of today. But I thought Zach Vaughn tackled his head off. I thought Reed had some good tackles. Coop. So I'll look at that. I thought we caught the ball well. I mean, there were some unbelievable catches, both offensively and defensively. With a lot of things that we talk about, we took the ball way well. I'll get some clarification on Saquon's fumble, but I thought we took care of the ball. Jalen did a great job taking care of the football. I thought our fundamentals that we worked so hard on were really on point today, which helped us to get the win today. It's tough to win.
What do you think?
All right. So before you go into your rant, I will say this. The next time, and it's on my TikTok, and I'll repost it if needed. The next time that I see Nick Sirianni hold up 2, I better see this. Break that man's fingers. Put him back down. So,
Okay,
All right, Eric. You have the floor before I interrupt you. But I will
I
mute
hate him.
myself.
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I hate his face. He needs to put a hat on because his haircut's fucking stupid. I don't like him anymore. I'm over this frigging guy. Oh, I'm critical about myself. I'm over analytical. Dude, he doesn't even know how to spell analytics. This guy is at the end of my rope. I'm done with him. I don't care. You don't want to boo players? That's fine. You don't boo players, but I'm going to boo idiot frigging coaches that are relying on a frigging 1-yard play all the fucking time. Stop leaving points on the goddamn fucking board, you stupid peewee coach. That's all I'm going to say about this fucking moron. I can't stand him. I don't like him no more. I don't give a fuck about his record. I don't give a fuck about their record since he's been here. I don't. I don't fucking care anymore. I want him gone after this fucking season. I want him out. The guy's a bumbling friggin' moron. Now, you can unmute and talk, and I'll just listen.
Who's the best head coach in the NFL outside of Andy Reid right now? I'm asking you. Who do you think? I'm asking you.
Jesus Christ. You are such a Kool-Aid drinker. I swear to
I'm
God.
I'm asking you, who do you think that I'm asking you? I didn't say he was. I'm asking you, who is the best NFC or I'll give you this. Give me the top 3 head coaches in the NFL not named Andy Reid.
Oh my God. Well, I'm not going to say Nick Sirianni. That's for one thing.
Fine.
That's for sure.
That's fine.
Okay. And considering right now the way that team's playing, whoever the friggin' coach is for the Commanders, they're doing a better job. They're playing more better than a team than we are from the start. Not starting off slow and getting hot. They've been playing good ball all friggin' year.
Okay, so Dan
That's
Quinn.
all I'm saying about it. Like this guy,
Nope.
I don't care.
No.
Whatever
Answer my
his name
question.
is, I don't care.
Dan Quinn. Go next.
Well, here's how I'm going to answer your question. I don't care enough about head coaches to know who the hell they are, unless they're named Bill Belichick, Big Tuna, whatever the fuck his name was, Parcells. I don't care. I don't care.
So, but your
I
argument
listen to
is,
how this guy.
But no, see, and this is
My
where
argument is he's a friggin' moron when he
He's
comes
not
to
a
the friggin'.
moron.
Oh,
He's
he
not a
Yes, he
moron.
is.
He's
He
not
relies
a
on the
moron.
push.
Listen,
He's
I'm gonna
afraid
tell
to
you
kick.
what.
He leaves points off the board. That's
He's not the only coach
He
who
leaves
does
points off
it.
the board.
He is absolutely not the only
Would you
coach
be
who
saying
does it.
this right
Dan
now if they
Campbell,
lost the game?
who was 7-1,
Would you be saying
has
this right
left
now if they
multiple
lost
points
to
on
the
the board.
Jacksonville Jaguars? Would you be saying this right now if they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars? No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Why? First off, the NFL handed 7 points to the
Because
Jacksonville
they
Jaguars.
lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars if they did.
No, okay. You're listen, so you're telling me right now, if you fired Nick Sirianni right now, who's running this team?
Oh my God! Listen,
If you're firing him, who's
Listen.
running? Nope.
Listen.
Nope. Answer my question.
we know who's running the team. We know who's running the team.
Who?
It's not him. We know
Well,
how the
clearly it is,
situation.
because you
We know
just said
how the
he's a terrible head
situation was
coach.
supposed to be at the start of the season. Remember,
Nope.
we had the
Nope.
conversation with.
Nope.
Hey,
You're
what did you take from?
100%
What did you take from
wrong.
that?
You're
What did you take from that press conference, Chris? What did you take from the press conference when Howie Roseman and him were saying he's going to take a step back? He's going to sit back and look. But every week we see him throwing up the 2, or let's push the friggin' quarterback in. And then you'll sit there and go, but he's got all these touchdowns. But they're 1 yard out. He doesn't do anything. Okay. Oh, I'm getting a migraine. So he's become one-dimensional with his play calling. And you know when he's doing a play calling because it's the same stupid plays. My point is, he's a friggin' idiot because he does the same stuff over and over again. He comes in, he's got to overrule the offensive coordinator because he's the head coach who's supposed to pop into a meeting here and there. But yet he seems to be putting his footprint on all these friggin' games, and I don't want to see his stupid footprint on the games that much. he thinks that he's the smartest guy out there. Remember when we used to say that Howie's trying to be too cute and be the smartest GM in the room? That's what Sirianni's doing right now. That's exactly what he's doing, but he leaves points off the board, and they're playing bad this couple of weeks, and they're winning. These games could go completely the other way, and all these conversations have a different tone, have a different outcome, have a different talking point.
But they didn't. So he first off, he's not getting fired.
Because they're winning games.
First off, he's not getting fired. He is the second best head coach in the NFL.
I didn't say he's getting fired. I just don't want him on the team.
And the Eagles are most likely going to play Detroit in the NFC Championship game in Detroit. As much as I love Jaden Daniels, he's still a rookie.
Get smoked. The Eagles will play Detroit in Detroit and get smoked.
And that's probably going to happen because Detroit's the best team in the NFC, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't sit there and tell me that he doesn't know what he's doing. He is the second best head coach in the NFC right now. I mean, I'll give him, I'll give him third because I'll give what Dan Quinn's doing with a rookie quarterback. I'll give him two. The game changed, and they made adjustments when bad calls were made against them. They missed the 2-point conversion where he clearly was over the line. They missed that. They clearly missed the touchdown, the fumble on Saquon. So you're looking at a 14-point swing right there. So, so don't tell me and don't tell everyone because you don't like him. That's fine. You don't have to like him. He's not an idiot. Has he made some questionable calls? Yes. Has Dan Quinn made some Dan Campbell made some questionable calls? Yes. He's going to have to make the adjustments. He has made the adjustments when it comes to the run game. The one thing that I will agree with you about yesterday is leaving the points on the board was inexcusable, but they still won the game. The only reason I'm saying
it happens every week. That's what I'm saying. It happens every week when you do it.
Still blowing
it
teams
happens
out.
every week.
And they're still winning games. They're not blowing teams out. Oh, they did have up until yesterday. They blew out the last two games. They did. The push is a 90%. So what's that?
And who were they? The last couple games before yesterday?
The Bengals.
Who were they?
The Bengals are good.
Okay, I'll give you that. The Bengals are good. But,
okay,
but you're getting happy. But you're getting happy over the Giants and Jacksonville.
Is it a win?
Teams that they're supposed to beat. You're getting happy over them.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point of what the NFL missed yesterday. What I'm trying to explain to you. 6-2. Well, 6-2-2. The NFL missed. The NFL gave it was an 10-point swing yesterday because the fumble that wasn't a fumble led to 8 points that never should have been on the board. Never should have been on the board. Say what you want. It never should have been on the board. It was the worst fucking call in the history of the NFL, and that's saying a lot. How the fuck do you miss that fumble? He ripped his fucking sock, and they gave him a touchdown, and they got the 2-point conversion. Fucking awful. Absolutely awful. The first or second 2-point conversion, Hurts' right arm had the ball on the fucking line. It was on the fucking line, and they missed it. The announcer said it. Gene Stateri said it on both calls. That's 10 points off 8 going one way and 2 going the other way. So now you're looking at 30 points minus the 8 that they were given to by the NFL. So now you're looking at a 30-23 game as a 30-15 game and a different outcome. So I don't want to hear about that. If you're going to talk about the calls that Sirianni made, absolutely. Were they awful? Yes. And was I yelling at the TV? Yes. He does. I don't care who it is. Whoever he's got in fantasy, every time
that's all I said. He's playing
against Jake Elliott every week.
That's all I said. That's all I said. You're going into this freaking rant, and I'm talking about the coach.
Then you have to go into the other way. The NFL gifted them 8 fucking points. 8. That's a huge swing. And the momentum because they just scored. And then you turn around. They scored 16 points in 14 seconds. It's a fucking disgrace. So if you're going to rip Sirianni, you need to rip the NFL. 10 points they fucked up yesterday. I'm thoroughly impressed with how bad the NFL officiating replay. Mark Butterworth needs to get fired. I don't care. He ripped his sock.
That one.
So you're telling me that if Saquon fell down, got back, never fumbled, got back up and ran in for a touchdown, it wouldn't have been overturned? Get the fuck out of here. It was a terrible, terrible call. Absolutely terrible call. If you're going to rip Sirianni, then it's got to go the other way as well. Plays that should have never happened, happened. And it happened on both sides. Should have Sirianni went 0 for 3 in 2-point conversions from the 1 yard line when the tush push has a 90% success rate? Maybe, maybe not. But you're at the 1, it's a 90%. Yeah, there's 6 points. Should he have went on a 4th and 3? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Then should he have kicked a 57-yard field goal when his kicker hasn't kicked all fucking game? Absolutely not. So that is where I get irritated. Like, if you're gonna rip Sirianni, then you need to rip Sirianni. Then you need to look at the whole game. We have people who are just picking and choosing on what to rip Sirianni. Not saying you, but I'm just saying in general.
Well, I'm being consistent with what I'm ripping the guy on. That's all I'm saying. I'm being consistent. He's doing the same stupid shit every fucking week, no matter what team they play. That's my argument. That's all I'm talking about.
They won by 20 points last week. They won by 20 points last week.
And you go ahead and go into something else. I'm sticking to what I'm saying, which has been consistency. That I don't like the guy. That I don't like him no more. I don't like the stupid stuff. I don't like the stupid antics. I don't like him. I don't like Dom. I don't like none of that dumb shit on the sidelines. I don't like him as the head coach. That's it. That's it. I don't like him as the head coach anymore. You can give me all your statistics, this, that, the NFL. Oh, my God, this guy should get fired. God forbid, or shocker, you want a fucking ref to get fired. That's something unusual.
But again, so what? So you're telling me, and then this is what we'll end it on, and then we'll get back to the other thing. So you're telling me you fire Nick Sirianni. He's going to get a job next year easily. Then you're going to replace him with Kellen Moore, who's never had a head coaching job offered to him. Right? That's where we're at.
Do you really think he's going to head coaching job easily?
Who? Nick Sirianni?
Do you really think that?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because he is a player's coach. He's a player's coach. Every single player on that team respects him. Saquon Barkley said it the best. He said, I hated playing against him when he was at Giants because he was an arrogant cocksucker. But playing for him, it's completely opposite. He's a player's coach.
Okay.
So let's get to the defense.
Yeah. So that defense. Go ahead.
Zach Bond, man.
You wanted to switch. You go for it.
Zach Bond, man. Are they gonna extend this dude?
Which one? Who?
Zach Bond.
Oh God, that has been one of the most underrated signings in the offseason by Howie Roseman.
Like Vic Fangio and Howie Roseman were like, we're gonna put him somewhere here and he'll be good.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to be playing as well as he has been. I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. I didn't
know who he was.
He came from Atlanta, correct?
I think so. You were the nerd who probably knew it when in the draft because that's like your Super Bowl. Like you probably knew it, but it was like who? Whatever.
Yeah,
now everyone did. I have no doubt in my mind. That's your forte. Like, we know that.
Did. I was probably like, oh, this guy's Zach Bond. I like the name.
Sounds like a cool guy. I just like he's all over the place. Like it doesn't make sense. And they're not missing tackles on defense. They're not. It comes down to
he came from the Saints. Thank you for the clarification, Mitch. It came from the Saints.
Okay. Well, damn. And they just fired their head coach.
Yeah, I saw that.
They destroyed the Dallas Cowboys, then got smacked around by the Eagles and forgot how to play football.
Yeah, they yeah, it sucks. I feel like the Saints too. I like them. But Atlanta, yeah, Atlanta did a job yesterday. But yeah, Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean have become a good 1-2 punch at linebacker. And
Finally.
Nakobe Dean has really started to come around these last like 3-4 games.
I look at it and it goes back to sometimes you just need to play a bad team to get your team going. And that's what happened with the Giants on defense. They came out and they carried the same attitude towards Cincinnati yesterday, or not yesterday, last week. And listen, we were both listen. We said the game was going to be one of three ways. It was either going to be a blowout, or they were going to lose, or it was going to be won on a last-second field goal. And anybody who saw the Eagles blowing out the Bengals, you're a liar.
Yeah, I honestly
embarrassed them in their own stadium.
Yeah, they really did. That was a game I was nervous about. I was really nervous about that. I mean,
Joe Burrow.
You got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. You got a good 1-2 punch there. I forget who their running back is because I know Joe Mixon is
Sidney Brown's brother. Chase.
That's right, Chase Brown.
And they think Gesicki on that team, the tight end.
Yes, that's a quality tight end.
He had 5 catches for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns yesterday. Like that's like that's he's a good tight end. So it's not like they played a schlub team when they beat them by 20. It's still Joe Burrow, and his line was decent.
Yep.
Yeah. And then,
that gets me too.
And so we're gonna go to we'll go to the Bond interception in a minute, but like I saw this comment.
The young DBs are playing superb. Well, I mean, Quinyon Mitchell, that kid literally, they didn't throw to him. They threw him once yesterday.
And it was on the first drive.
Yeah.
They had the 11-yard completion, and that was it.
Yeah. That's it. One catch against him, an 11-yard completion, and then he just locked down the rest of the game.
And then this play right here, this is huge. I want to put it up.
Lawrence throwing in and a lot of contact on Ingram.
I feel like Cooper DeJean's making a huge play on 4th down, at least the last. I know last week it was against Jamar Chase.
Yeah, you hear his name at least once a game in a big 4th down situation.
Vic Fangio went last week and said, listen, on this 4th down, you're going to cover Jamar Chase. So wherever he goes, you goes. What? And he played that play perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, look, the young guys are really starting to step up for the team. I mean, the defensive backs, the linebackers. Keely Ringo's playing good ball. Like he's not a name that is being said all the time, but he's also not a name that's being said in a negative way either. I mean, he's just out there playing and doing his thing. I think when it came to him and it came to Nakobe Dean, I think those guys let the game come to them and slowed it down a little bit, and they're finding their niche and they're starting to play.
My wife thinks I have PMS because I'm yelling at you on the podcast.
Who's it? Oh, Melissa.
Because I came home today, I was in a bad mood and I was yelling when I got home, and I just got a text that Buzz has PMS. He's yelling at everyone when he got in. Now he's yelling on the podcast.
Well, we haven't had one of those in a while, anyway.
It's Perugini something Sirianni. We got to come up with a middle name. Perugini, come up with an M and then Sirianni. But yeah, like right here, like this Bond interception, just knowing where he's at.
Struggled in the first half, and ETN couldn't hold on to it. Did Bond pick it? Yes, he does! Zach Bond with the interception.
Yeah, this
Can I just say, did the Kelly Green jerseys make them into like superheroes?
I'll tell you, I mean, for me, I see them in those Kelly Green jerseys, and it just brings me way back. And then when they have a good defensive effort like that, because I think of that 92 defense or the 91 defense when I see those.
So they came out with the Kelly Green. They brought back the Kelly Green jerseys last year. And I was a little, not that I was against it, but I was like, you got to remember, during the Kelly Green era, the Eagles were not good. They just weren't. Unfortunately, they had the few good years under Buddy Ryan. They just weren't good. Now I look at them and I think of seeing that huge eagle in the middle of the field and just the end zones painted, and I'm like, all right, let's just go back to them. Let's just go back to the Kelly Green jerseys. They're so pretty. Like, it's just
they really
something
are.
about it. And I don't know what it is. I just it's and
yeah,
again
they really are some.
And I think, hold on one second. I'm going to do this again.
Has time. Now locates Barkley out of the backfield. Barkley slips 2 tackles and picks up the first down, jumping up in the air to the 30. A gain of 14 for Barkley with some nifty moves along the way.
Was that not the best 14-yard gain you've seen all?
He deked 2 people. And then you think he's going this way. Nah, he went this way. What?
Yeah, that was nice. That was really nice.
And then he jumped that shit backwards. He hurdled someone backwards. He did a no-look hurdle. And I must say, I don't know if I brought this up earlier in the podcast. I forget because we got so hyped. Isn't it so nice having a running back who does a hurdle and it's not your playing getting hurdled over? Isn't it so nice? I feel like every year someone's hurdling over the Eagles and you're just like,
oh yeah, it's absolutely great.
I can't but yeah, so like they just they got but the thing that I like what I did when we had our little disagreement, and I'm gonna flip back to it, is I think I'm hoping that the players, like I said, he's a players coach. He listens to his players. The offense has completely changed. If anybody has noticed, the offense has completely changed. And be like, yo, coach, just kick the points. Because you keep taking the points, you build up the lead, and you can have your players out in the fourth quarter. Like your starters don't have to play. And what's funny? Not this funny is that fumble by Barkley that led to a touchdown actually led to the Jaguars losing their starting left tackle because he came in for the 2-point conversion, and it sounds like he tore his ACL.
Oh, it sucks.
So like it's little plays like that you have to look at as season changing, and obviously it doesn't matter because the Jaguars, I don't understand why the Jaguars are so bad. They have that kid, what's his name, Jonathan Hines Allen, who's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Trayvon Walker was the number 1 pick. Travis, is it Trevor? No, why can't I think of his name? Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 pick quarterback. Let's go to him real quick. I'm going to bring up 2 quarterbacks because Hurts gets a lot of heat, right?
Right.
You think?
Yeah, he does. He still does.
Why isn't Jordan Love or Trevor Lawrence, who were quarterbacks, paid higher than him, not getting the same heat? Now, is it because we don't hear about it because Philadelphia is a huge market and it's Jacksonville and Green Bay? But Jordan Love had 8 good games last year and got paid a lot of money. At least Jalen had a full season and took his team to the Super Bowl before he got paid.
Yeah, see,
and same with Trevor Lawrence. I don't know.
Well,
I'll let you go. I'll let you leave.
Well, Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be like if I'm not mistaken, a lot of people were saying that he was going to be the next like Peyton Manning, and he definitely hasn't lived up to that. He's really not living up to the hype that surrounded him when he came out of school. Jordan Love, I agree with you. This was a kid that was behind Aaron Rodgers for what, 3 years, and never had a chance to play. So he comes in for 8 games, played well. He did pretty good. And the only reason why he got paid was because of the market. But then again, I look at what he got paid, and now because I know they paid him like a 1 year extension at first, like after that first year, because they had to make a decision on him. And they obviously drafted him in the first round, so they looked at him as a future starting quarterback. So they had to do something for him to keep him around at least one more year. And I was really surprised at the actual deal that he got, like you just said. Like he got paid a lot of money. And
him and Trevor both got $55 million a year. That's bananas.
Who was that? Trevor Lawrence, right?
And Jordan Love.
And yeah, I was really surprised at Jordan Love because we didn't get a lot of film on him. Like, you had it from school, but now you're talking it was like 4 years later. He hadn't really done anything in the NFL. He had, like you said, 8 games in that final year. Then they give him that 1 year extension he has last year, and then he got paid. And I thought, wow, that's a lot of money for a guy that we've only seen a couple, like not even not even 2 full seasons out of.
Yeah, it was weird, like you said, because he was drafted the same year as Hurts. But no, you're right, because I'm thinking about, like, they picked up his option because he's 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Yeah, they picked up a 5th-year option.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they gave him that 4-year deal. Like it didn't make sense.
Yeah, I think it was they saw what they wanted to see out of those 8 games that he played. So they felt comfortable that he was going to be a starting quarterback for them in the future. But I think they got put into the situation where, look, we're going to have to pay him because they gave him that option, and if they didn't pay him, all right, he's either a free agent or he's not coming. They're going to lose him. So they had to throw money at him. I don't think it was.
Well, I mean, they probably could have franchised him.
They could have franchised him.
Jordan Love leads. Well, I think Jordan Love's got 10 interceptions in 7 games, and he hasn't been good.
Well, see, if they franchised him, you got to think too. Like when you put the franchise tag on the quarterback, it's a certain percentage from the top paid players of that position. So, yeah, I think it's the top 5.
Oh, sure.
So if they franchised them, they would have had their asses handed to them financially. So by giving him an extension, they actually saved themselves some money. And so financially, yeah, you want to do that no matter.
Yeah, well, you were talking about financially, and I know we make. Well, I mean, you do. You make fun of I do as well. You make fun of the Cleveland Browns and the cap hell they're in. The Saints are $60 million over the cap next year.
Yeah.
You better show up at the Superdome. Anybody who's looking for a job, you're under the age of 25. Saints are hiring next year. But so we were just talking about him, and I'm gonna show this play.
Struggled in the first half, and ETN couldn't hold on to it. Did Bond pick it? Yes, he does.
And there's our board, Nakobe Dean around the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nakobe Dean, that was Zach Bond. That was.
No, but I'm saying, I'm gonna get his up and around.
I was gonna say you got Dean's.
He's all over the place now, and like I said, sometimes you got to play a bad team, not to get your confidence up, to be like because listen, we all know sports is a mental game. It's just it is what it is. It's just a mental game. And sometimes if you get yourself going, you don't stop. But like this play by Nakobe was really good. Like for a linebacker to stretch out like this.
Lawrence has time, looking for Johnson, and it's picked off! Nakobe Dean!
Yeah, just put him in the slot. Forget Dotson. Put Nakobe Dean in the slot. Let him do his thing.
Do you know who I've had enough of on defense?
Who's that?
Avonte Maddox. He fucking stinks.
Oh, he's terrible, dude. I think those injuries took a toll on him. He's washed.
Yeah,
he's completely washed.
He had the pass interference, and he stinks. He's terrible.
He definitely took a shot to the old the old tank there. He's done. And I feel bad for him because at one point, man, I was excited to have him on the team. Like, oh my god,
I was like it's going to be a great slot receiver, corner, and he's not.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys. He's like just hanging on. Like he's probably in what they only have him for a 1-year deal, correct? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So he's got to be gone next year. I mean, especially with the emergence of the young guys on defense, he's definitely going to be gone.
Yeah, you got to think next year. You got to think Darius Slay's probably up. This is probably his last year, right?
I would think so. Even though he's still, he's not playing bad.
No. Listen, people want to get on Darius Slay because again, we pick and choose. When to attack guys, like on tush pushes and. No. I had to. So let's see. I'm trying to think. So Darius Slay, he was cut, then re-signed by the Eagles, right?
I was so he was remember because it was and everybody was like, oh my god, you can't get rid of this guy, and it came out like, oh, they're not going to extend him, and then all of a sudden they re-signed him because remember that was the year that we lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah,
that was the year that we lost him to Detroit, and that's when they brought back Slay and Bradbury because they had to double down on their cornerbacks.
So he's actually he's a cap hit of $13 million for 2025, which isn't bad for a corner.
No.
So I don't know. I'd have to look. It doesn't say what his dead cap hit would be.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at it now, but where are we at here? Go away. I hate all this
Isaiah
stuff. Oh, what was that? Oh, did I lose Chris? I lost Chris. All right. So what we were doing was, everyone, we're going to we were just talking about cap hits and thinking about a guy.
I lost my internet for a second. My internet went out.
Yeah, I was going to say your internet went out. So here's a guy. There it is. Here's a guy.
You waited.
Here's a guy. I'm looking at right now. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That guy, we're all excited to get him back, and what's he done?
Nothing.
That literally, what has he done? And you look at his cap, or you look at his hit. All right, so this year his guaranteed salary is $2,125,000. His cap number is $2,682,000 and change, which is like about 1% of the cap. Next year he's going to be making is going to be a $2 million salary, which is great, but we're not getting any value from him now. Like all of a sudden, this guy's nowhere to be found. I know he's been banged up, but I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of killing me. And they signed him what was it? A 3-year deal? I believe it was a 3-year deal. Yeah, because let's see.
He's got 33 tackles and 1 interception. So
Yeah.
and he's got 1, 2, and he's got 5 pass defenses. So obviously the interceptions aren't there. But listen, we all know as cornerbacks and safeties, we try to look at those are the numbers we want to see. Correct. We want to see an interception. We want to see a forced fumble. Unfortunately, he doesn't have it. He's got the 1 interception, which is a really good play. He's got 5 pass defenses. I think one of them was against Cincinnati. He had 2 against Cleveland, 1 against Tampa, and 1 against New Orleans. So
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, he's been playing banged up too. He's been playing hurt. I mean, didn't he miss 1 game this year?
No,
I remember the year that he's been in every. Oh, that's right. I know he's been playing banged up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It kind of feels like the second time around with him, it's not as special as the first time because, like you said, I mean, you go back to when we had him before the Super Bowl season with this group. He led the league in interceptions, and he played in what, like 8 games? He was just everywhere.
He had the lacerated liver or something.
Yeah. So I mean, he missed a lot of time because of that, and he balled out that season. I think that was one of the signings for this year when they brought him back. I was like, all right, cool. We got him locked up for 3 years. This is awesome. And it's not there like it was just a couple years ago, just a few years ago. Like that magic that he had or that aura around him, like him always around the football. It's just not there. Where Zach Vaughn seems to be that guy this year. He's just everywhere around the ball. No matter when you see that ball in the air, you're going to see him by it.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah. So we'll see. So we got Dallas coming up. They're in shambles.
Yeah, they're a mess. They're an absolute mess. And we don't know if we're going to have. Yeah, we don't know if we're going to have see Dak Prescott.
Oh, he's done.
He may not play.
He's not playing. They already said it. I know he's getting a second. I know he's getting a second opinion, but he pulled his hamstring. If AJ Brown missed 2 games, he's missing 2 or 3.
Yeah, and then I know he left the game but came back into the game yesterday, which was CeeDee Lamb. They're saying that he's like week to week, or I'm sorry, day to day, but it sounds like he's going to give it a shot. I don't know if he's going to play or not.
He's got that AC joint, man. You can't mess with that. You can't.
Yeah. And the thing that sucks, I'm kind of cursing him out right now for getting hurt because I was about to trade him. I have him on my fantasy team. I was about to trade him. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll do 1 more week with him and Dak, and then I'll pull the trigger. Yeah, well, guess what? I'm stuck with him now.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, I still got Puka Nacua, who's working his way back, and I got Nico Collins, who should be back either this week or the week after, which I need all these guys, really, because I've lost 5 in a row.
Puka, who isn't when he isn't swinging at people, is a good receiver.
What's that?
When he's not swinging at people, he's a good receiver.
Yeah, that is true. That is absolutely true. But yeah, so
I listened. I was listening to Ray Didier this morning, and he made a good point. He's like, the NFL has an officiating problem. He's like, they're more worried about selling T-shirts in Dusseldorf, Germany, than trying to fix the officiating. And it's sad because it's true.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. They're trying so desperately to make this brand a global brand, and they're short. They're coming up short in other areas.
Like you had the playing the Eagles game yesterday. They called Darius Slayton on a pick. He didn't even touch anybody in the Giants game. It's like I don't get it. Like officiating all around the world is terrible, but we see it because we watch it intensely because it's our team.
Right.
But think about it. So let's just go back the last. We'll go back the last 2 weeks because these are 4 plays that I can remember. The Barkley fumble, the Slayton pick yesterday, and then the last 2 weeks, Sam Darnold's face has gotten ripped off, and they're like,
yeah, that poor guy's been getting his shit knocked out of him. He really has. I feel bad for Darnold.
But if you breathe hard on Patrick Mahomes, and good for Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, it's a 15-yard penalty.
You can't go near him. You can't go near Patrick Mahomes. You just can't. And you know what's funny too? It's like you sit there and we talked about it last week too. I'm like, Patrick Mahomes, yeah, he's still Patrick Mahomes, but this year this is the funny thing. He hasn't played like Patrick Mahomes, but they're 7-0.
Defense.
I don't understand. I don't understand because it's not like Kelsey's been on fire this year. Kelsey's been consistent, but he hasn't been putting up the numbers that we're used to seeing out of him. And they have no wide receivers. They had to go and trade for an over 30-year-old DeAndre Hopkins, who I believe has a touchdown tonight.
He does. I need 4 points from Travis Kelce to win my week. 4 points, Mr. Travis, Mr. Taylor Swift.
Well, didn't he just get his first touchdown last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know he had a catch here that got who the hell is that on the Bucks wearing the big helmet? He's looking like Dark Helmet from Spaceballs.
The Guardian cap.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw one of the players on the Bucks. I want to say it's on their offense. He's wearing that Guardian cap. And it's like I can completely see it right there on the field. It's so funny. It's one of their linemen. I didn't realize how big those things were. Interesting. First time I've seen one being used in the games.
So, are you ready for the gender reveal tomorrow?
The what?
With the election, I feel like it's like a nationwide gender reveal.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I got 28 texts and phone calls today on who I'm voting for.
Oh God, I've been getting them from both sides.
I miss the good old days of where they didn't know who you were voting for and just leave us alone. So, but yeah, everyone go out, do your due diligence.
There's no due diligence for this one, dude. There's none. There's absolutely none. This is good and bad, left versus right. It's all it is. You have your who's going to vote one side, you got who's voting another, and somewhere along the line, someone's going to yell foul. This election is I mean, look, I voted a couple weeks ago. I did it by mail because I was like, I'm not going out there. I'm not putting up with that garbage. So I voted a couple weeks ago. Did it by mail. I got my tracking number. They got it. My votes were in. I was like, good. Or my vote was in. It's funny. People get mad at me when I say votes because they think I voted multiple times. And I have to remind them that there's multiple people on the ballot. So it is one vote per person. So I always say votes because it's not just president or mayor. No. There's other things to vote for. And people get incensed with, oh, how many votes do you get? Well, I get one, but there's 7 things I can choose. So there's 7 different votes.
Just tell them you get 5. See what they say.
What's that?
Tell them you get 5.
Yeah, I'm like, no. I said that a couple of weeks ago to somebody. I was like, yeah, I said my votes. My votes were counted. What do you mean votes? And I was like, all right, back up, John Wayne. Chill out. Come on. This is what I meant. there's like 7 people on the ballot. I voted for each one of them. I voted for like who I wanted to vote for. So it was like what? I was like, it is what it is. I was like, shut up. Oh yeah, I said, don't start waving your flag at me. I didn't mean it like I got all these votes. I was like, whoosh. God.
So, as I
Yeah.
sit there, don't move to Canada if your candidate loses, everybody. Don't.
Oh, I that's the other stuff I like seeing. Who's moving out of the country? I'm still waiting for Rosie O'Donnell to move out of the country. Like when she said that, like literally said that on TV, I was like, "Where's the big door? I'm opening up right now. Just go." Like, I don't like you. I never liked you. Just get out of here. Go.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna be hurt that Rosie O'Donnell goes to Canada and starts drinking Molson all the time. I don't care.
So just like I sit there and say, don't riot, don't storm the Capitol, don't disrespect your colleagues or whoever or your friends if your vote's different than theirs. Just it is. No one should know. No one should know who you're voting for. Plain and simple.
Well, I can actually say that it's like I used to I used to work the elections every year.
Are you doing that
started
this
out
year?
as No, I haven't done it for the last couple years because it's just due to work and stuff like that, and
I didn't know if
I
you
wanted
could. I didn't know if you could do it down where you lived.
I can. I looked into it, but where we actually vote is the high school right around the corner from us. So it's like a 5-minute drive just to get there. And I went to the election board up here to find out like if I can, start working the elections again because it's something that was in my family for years. Like I said, I was judge of elections for like 10 years, and I want to get back into it. And they're like, well, we can do it, but we can't guarantee you're going to. I was like, no, I only want to be in one spot. I don't want to go traveling 20 minutes one way. And like, I'm not doing all that crap. So I'm just waiting for a spot to open up over here at the high school. And which made me laugh because when I went in there the first year that I was up here, I went and I voted in person. And they have a huge gymnasium, all these different voting sections for these different divisions and wards and count all this stuff like that, all these different counties and everything, the townships, everything. And I'm like, you mean to tell me you can't find me a stupid seat at one of these places where I can be here around the corner from where I live so it's not such a long day? So I was like, whatever. So when I can, I will. I'll get back into it. I miss doing that stuff.
Are the Eagles winning on Sunday?
Yeah, if they don't get in their own way, yeah. I mean, I don't see them. They shouldn't get in their own way against this game. In this game, I mean, you're going up against a depleted Dallas Cowboys team, so I mean, like, there's no Dak, most likely no CD. It's going to be tough. I mean, I know they reactivated what's his name, Zeke Elliott, after he was healthy scratch for the first time this past week.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Yeah,
I'm saying Eagles win by 10.
Yeah, I'm going to say about the same thing, a 10, 13 point lead win, maybe 2 touchdowns, maybe 14. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I was getting all hyped for Dallas week, and then those 2 guys have to go get hurt, and I'm like, okay, it's still Dallas week. I'm still going to be hyped for it. It's we hate them. We never want to. We always want to play them. We always want to kick their ass. But it's like another game without Dak versus Jalen, and it's just annoying.
And it's going to be excuses after excuses if they lose.
Yeah, of course it is. Like they're already dialing up the excuses now. You can't say, oh, well, if we don't win, we didn't have Jalen, we didn't have Dak, we didn't have CD. It's like, oh, okay, Zeke's washed. So it's like I don't know. At this point, I don't even care what Dallas fans are going to have to say if they lose the game. I just really don't. It's just like stupid. It's just stupid.
Like these are
four
these
great highlights right there.
like the catch, the hurdle, the catch again. Like play that shouldn't have happened.
I mean, look at that! Look at that still frame right there of Barkley. Like, look at how he just brought his whole body in to do that. I mean, he's basically teabagging that defender.
Yes.
I'm like, holy crap!
This is what we're looking at. TikTok. I had to bring my phone up. The 4 plays, you turn into a superhero. Apparently, when you put on the Kelly Green jersey. So,
and I mean, as much as I love that Barkley hurdle, I'm in love with that Devontae Smith catch because it's like you see that ball's just dropping, and all of a sudden there's his arm and the ball's gone.
That play was so fast. That play was so fast. That play was so fast. And I was like, "There's no way." But there's no way. Way.
Yeah.
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 Way.
Yeah, that catch really did it for me. I couldn't believe it. And like I said, as much as I enjoy watching that video of Saquon Barkley, that to me the better highlight was the Devontae Smith catch. That really was. That's just for my liking.
What's that?
Saquon Barkley versus Jacksonville, 159 rushing yards, 40 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. Oh, Jesus.
Dallas week. Oh, that's good.
Oh, my God. That's funny right there. I didn't see that one. That's great.
Yeah, so.
I scour the internet for stuff like that, too. That's funny. That guy's reaction, too, was awesome. He's like, what? It's what they put crack in those cheesesteaks, and little kids will be flipping off Dallas fans now.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. That's a good one.
So, all right, well, we got nothing else
right now.
Good way to end our show.
Yeah, we're good on this, man. Now I got to sit back and edit this bad boy down. Not like I don't have time.
This is a real picture. This is real. This actually happened.
Unreal.
Like I said, it's so happy. So this is literally me and you 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, we're calm and reasonable, all right.
All right, we'll do our sign off.
All right, well, everyone, thank you for checking in on this spirited edition of the Philly podcast. Thank you to our sponsors, Lots of Rain Watches, themonkeysuncle.net, Back to 99 Productions, and of course, CEV Sports Podcast Network, the home of the Philly podcast. Everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for the engagement tonight. I'm Eric Perugini. That's Chris Lahiff. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, TikTok.
You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's easy to sum it up. We're talking about practice.
Because it's about as casual as it gets. What's the problem now?
That's a clown question, bro.
I think we ought to send a beating at least.
World champions!
Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
Philadelphia, looking as only you can look. Woo!
Here we go.